Hi, I am Rock. Hi, I am Roxy. I am here to ask you to do something for Steve 6464. Can you watch as much of the video that you can? Then before you leave a comment. Make it a critique, a constructive criticism. Thanks. Oh, he's about to start. Bye.
Okay, Foxtrot Delta Tango, Foxtrot OBS, Foxtrot, Foxtrot, my computer. God, it's a horrible day. Testing 1, 2, 3, testing 1, 2, 3, testing 1, 2, 3, Foxtrot Delta Tango, Foxtrot Delta Tango. There we are, negative 11.1 decibels. Gonna try at the desk. OBS. Giving it a try at the table here. OBS. Yeah, OBS is really being a bunch of BS today. It wouldn't start. The computer took forever to reload and shut down, and so I was finally coming on, and then the OBS stalls. Roxy intro just about had it. I think I found the crackling. I don't think it has anything to do with wires being loose or not. I think I have an old mechanical external hard drive that's probably starting to go on the fritz, and I think that's what was crackling. But if there is crackling, please let me know. I won't be able to do anything about it, but at least I will know about it. Alright, enough complaining. Hi. I am Steve6464. This is season 13 of Let's Build This, episode 33 of finishing a 15-year-old project. There she is over there. can't see her on the main screen, but you can see her. You can see her from the rear here and from the very top here. So yeah, let's get started here. Let's do the review. See you shortly. Alright, Foxtrot Delta Tango, Foxtrot Delta Tango. Let's get this down to 11.1, 11.5, 9, 7, 11.1. Come on. Eleven point five. 11.9 small. There we are. 11.1. Finally, maybe we'll get somewhere soon. All right, let's switch scenes and get to work. So you might have noticed I rearranged some of the boxes, some of the camera views, and I hope that you'd be able to see more of what I'm doing without doing a whole bunch of boom camera angles around and stuff. And I think it visually looks nicer too. So let's get over there and let's get to work. This camera, I'm going to lift it higher just to get it out of the way for now. Alright, okay. First thing we do the start of every stream is filter our thinner. Coffee filter. I'm doing this twice, two of them. I believe this was the first wash. Where is that? Yeah, that's a good spot. So let's filter this. Yeah, a lot of cement there on the bottom. see that? I guess that's a pretty good view. Okay. This will get a warm, soapy wash. This filter will get thrown out. This will be the first wash if we do any painting, and we probably will. Definitely will. This will be the second wash. There shouldn't be as much sediment in the second wash because the first wash should have got most of the pigment. But again, still there's quite a bit, not as much, but there's a fair amount of sediment in this one. This will also get a nice warm soapy water rinse later on. So will the funnel and anything else we use. Okay, this is from last week. This is the new one. Where am I? This is the new one. There's that one. We'll start this one. And away we go. Okay. I only got one view and there should be two. Why, this never seems to start. Let's see if we can't get this one caught up. Still only saying one current viewers. Oh, I see I have 51 subscribers. I went up one. So if the new subscriber is watching, thank you. Please do all the other typical YouTube request stuff. Okay, now I have 2 viewers. Good. And what am I doing? I am painting. I am actually painting white instead of black. Or maybe I should finish black and paint over white. So on the box, I might need this. This little kidney shape here is white. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint the kidney shaped bump on both sides white. Let that dry. While that's drying, glue in Roy Brown the pilot and his machine guns. Work on the covering the window with some plastic. Right. And hopefully by then the white will be dry enough we can paint some black. So I don't think I've had this white open. I probably opened it just once when I we first started going through all the paints, cleaning up the tabs. Yeah, okay, this needs some tools. And I know you're all saying that I'm a tool, and you might be right. But I am the wrong type of tool for opening paint jars. You know, I do this every time I go into that. And I go, I thought I had a gas wrench. And I don't have a gas wrench. I got a gas wrench in the garage where they belong, but that doesn't help me here. Doesn't help me here. Okay. Get one of my favorite tools, one of my bamboo forks. Mix it up really good. Yeah, there's a lot of pigment in the bottom of that. Get all that pigment nice and mixed in. I still find myself needing to be more in the middle of the table. Let's adjust the camera. Okay, get rid of that. Let's this is pretty well mucked up. We want the blue can, not the yellow can. So put a little thinner on my towel, pour a little in my jar. Right. Clean the top of this up. See, now I probably really should have waited to the end. And I'll probably do this again when I'm done. But I've felt the need to do it. I couldn't go on with the project without cleaning off the top the cap and the top of the bottle. Okay, that have to be good enough. Put this away. Let it soak up those paint thinner vapors. Get the paint thinner off my hands. Up and down, up and down. Again, I like to take this opportunity, if you're just logging in, just to please say hi. If you're watching in the future in the video, then say hi in the comments. Not asking for much more, just so I know who is visiting, so I can say hi. Okay. Alright, I think for this I'm going to use the brushes that testers sell. The little inexpensive plastic thing. Because I don't have a flat brush. Yeah, this one will work. I think. We'll try it. We'll see. Pour a little out. Because it's easier to get my brush into the paint mixer than it would be into the bottle. And right now, anything I can do to make my life easier, I'm going to do it. So there. Why isn't it? I'm going to have to put a couple coats of white on. But won't it be fun to add that little extra time to this project that's already taken too much time? Alright. Nothing like doing something and feeling like you didn't get anywhere. Now that's thicker. It's also getting where it shouldn't get. And I really need to get a light source coming this way. Alright, set that aside a moment. I need to see if I can clean up my overpaint. I thought I had some overpaint here. Only on this side? And I still need to, I missed some spots. And that silver is coming up. You'd think after a week or more that it wouldn't. Alright, so we'll let the white sit. See if we can't get back some of the paint that we poured out into our paint jar. And clear off the cap and the bottle threads. Put the cap back on, but I'm not going to put it on really tight because I am going to use it later. Alright. Put that away. And one more time, try to get the paint thinner off my fingers. Some Windex or window cleaning product or a general cleaning spray. Best thing would probably be to go to a sink and use soap and water. But I don't have that luxury. Okay, I am bumping my head again into the camera. I am getting ready to put machine guns on. Right. one sits really nice, the other's not going to sit that nice, because I'm probably putting it upside down. There we go. Put things together the right way. Usually works out for the best. Get my tester's plastic glue, and I'm going to put glue on here and in between. And set that into the little divots made by the vacuum form for the fuselage. And you know what? I don't think that the glue I just put on is going to do anything. So I'm going to put some on the high point. And yeah, okay, I can feel the glue now. Alright, the other machine gun. First put some on the high point here, and then on the DM. And there went my cap. Yeah, I'll have to find that after. Good. Damn it. Glue dripping all over me here. What I would give her 10% more room. Come on. Glue there. Glue there, there, and there. And insert. I'm sure Roy Brown would appreciate if his guns were facing straight. Alright, and Roy Brown himself. Here we go. Yeah, I'm not going to just put glue on that raised up portion. I'm going to put glue all over the bottom. And then he goes in like that. Sure he does. Alright, so now I need to find my cap, so I'm not glue all over the place. Excuse me. Alright, that was a quick find. Okay. Every little thing is such a challenge. Of course, it probably doesn't help, you know, starting out with fighting with OBS. Right. Okay. That blocks too much of the camera. So we'll have that there. What am I doing? Why am I making room? Oh, I wanted to clean my brush before we got too far. First wash. Oh, I know. I need second one. You need to make room to cut the plastic for the window. This should be really fun. Not cutting it so much, but gluing it without getting glue fingerprints in the middle of it. Okay. Let that dry, sort of. And I think I've changed my mind. I'm not using the acetate that they provided. I do have some of my own. I got a bunch of it. So, if I make a mistake, I have plenty of extra. Alright, so what do I need? I need a cutting tool. I think I'll also get a pair of scissors. Got a pair here at the desk. Pair of scissors. And some sort of measuring device. And I'll probably want to, what I'll do is I'll get some cardstock. which I can cut on. Tape that in place. At least I don't have to worry about residual paint. Coming up. Okay, so this hole is 1.5. I need a writing utensil. Back to the desk. Writing utensil. Okay, width is 1.5. Height or length, I guess in this case it would be length, is 1 3/4. Of course, I'm going to cut this. I'm going to cut this fat. I need a dark. The tissue paper that comes with it is not dark enough. But black construction paper should be more than enough, right? Yes, no, maybe, in between. Alright, so the length is 175, 1 3/4. I definitely want to go a good 1/8 inch more than that. And that's going to be 1 7/8. And let's draw that line. Okay, and then the same with the width, 1.5, but I want to go 1/8 inch more. So that's going to be 1 5/8. And let's draw that line. I want the acetate and tissue paper all at the same time, thank you. Alright. And paper. No, I don't want to cut the tissue paper. I'm going to try the scissors. Set that on the brushes. Move this out of the way. Bring in the flame. And test the size. Okay, I thought I wanted an 1/8 inch bigger. But I'm going to want to go even bigger. So let's get everything back. Let's use another corner. What do I want to do? What do I want to do? I want to put a couple dots where the edge of this is. And then I want to go crazy. Let's go crazy. And make this a 1/16 bigger. So who is bigger? Daddy bigger? Mommy bigger? Or baby bigger? Baby bigger is the biggest, because baby bigger is just a little bigger. Ha 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 ha. Alright. Let's draw some lines here. Scissors. Static. brushes so we know where it's at. Yes, this time I think we have it. Probably could have gone a little longer this way. Yeah. But I think we'll manage. Can I get, well, alcohol remove the Sharpie marks. Let's find out. Yes. And let's clean this. With some alcohol. Hopefully get some of the finger grease off it. I probably should actually use gloves. Oh, I didn't want to throw that out. But when have I ever done what I should have done on this project? Okay, now let's try not to get any of this glue in our fingers and then transfer it to our plastic sheet. And of course, as I say that, the glue drips somewhere where we don't want it to be. And I almost use my finger to clean it up. So I should use something that's not my finger to tap this down. Alright, let's let that settle. Cap on our glue. Cap on our bamboo forks. We didn't use the X-Acto blade, so let's get that out of our way. Hey, hey, hey. Get out of our way. What time is it? 2:16. Another 45 minutes. If I can stretch it that long. Seven view. Okay, 2 current views and a total of 7 views. When we started, it was 2 current views and 4 views total. So I'm guessing 3 people have poked their noses in and out. Didn't say hi, didn't like what I was doing, so left. And that is their prerogative. But it'd be really cool if someday they would just say hi, sorry, bye. Looked like it was rising up. Alright, I want to try adding another coat of white. So let's get our mixing tray, the brush we were using, our white. Bamboo mixer. Mix this up. Pour a little out. Cap it so if we knock it over we don't spill. Get some paint in our brush. And way over there, you can't see what I'm doing. Here, yeah. Second coat. That's looking a little better. Still kind of translucent. Still not quite covering it like I was hoping it would. And on this side. So maybe this might need a third coat. Third coat. Maybe. We'll let it dry over the week and see what we think about needs a third coat or not. Alright. That was a lot to do with nothing. Try try and pour our paint back into our jar. Save as much as we can, so we're not buying a lot of paint. Alright, this is cleaning up for the week. I am not going to be using white paint anymore today. So clean this up as good as I can to keep it from sealing shut. Cover up our paint thinner towels, cover up our paint, tighten it nicely, and clean our brush. First wash, first paint thinner bath. Second paint thinner bath. And what we are going to do next is install the rubber motor. Well, first we're going to prep the propeller, and then look to installing the rubber motor. Right. And going to, surprise, 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 read the instructions and see if they have any instructions on how to install the rubber motor. Well, they do, actually, I think. But I kind of messed that up. I glued something into place that I shouldn't have. This exclusive multi-purpose Gulio model has been designed to afford you a variety of building choices. Before start of your actual construction, study the plans thoroughly. What silly person would do that? You can build your scale model for U-control, gas engine, free flight, rubber powered free flight, or static display. Determine which type of model you are going to build and follow the instructions. Alright, free flight. Free flight. 3 free trees. Free flight. Precision construction, balance, and ease of flight adjustment, coupled with a model build to be specifically lightweight, are the essentials for free flight. Refer to the glow engine or rubber powered free flight section of this plan. Okay. Suggestions for making a super light rubber powered flying model using a sanding block. Sand all the die cut sheets on the non-print side before removing die cut parts. Apply only 2 coats of clear dope over the tissue. Do not use color dope. Omit all scale operating parts, and yeah, there's a lot of stuff I put on here that I probably shouldn't have. Okay, namely, this thing, most likely I shouldn't have put the machine guns or Roy Brown in, but hey, it's my stream, my project. I can mess it up any way I want. And mess it up some ways I couldn't even think of messing it up. Here we go. Installing rubber motor. Assemble propeller, bead nose bearing, and propeller shaft. See plan side view. That is what they're talking about. Tie one end of the rubber motor to 12-inch of light string. Oh, okay. This. At least I had the foresight to put this together before early on, even before I started streaming, I had this taken care of. Light string and lower rubber motor into fuselage through the hole in the nose and cowl until it lines up with the rear motor mount hole at part L. See, that's the thing I had glued in. Insert dowel or matchstick through part L, there's a hole, and loop the rubber motor. Pull out front end of loop. Alright, so I was hoping it would say how much rubber motor I would need. Because the stuff that came with the kit, I think, is way too long, and I know the extra stuff that I bought is way too long. Right, and this stuff still should be slimy from God, how long ago was it? We did that 2 months now, maybe. Alright, but first we need to get ahead of ourselves. Where is the instructions for building? So let's see if we can find these parts. And that's not quite where I want. Let's get this part here. Okay. This was extra. I think these are just bands. Yeah. I got these when I first got the kit 15 years ago when I didn't quite know what I'm doing. Not that there's that much more of an improvement on what I'm doing. Now. Okay. This is not the propeller. This would be used if you were just doing the model for display. More acetate. See, this is pretty dirty. I'm glad I grabbed the stuff that I had. A lot of extra parts that would be used if I were put a gas engine on. Okay, here's the propeller. This, I think, is yes. This is this piece. This would be disassembled propeller bead nose. This is the nose bearing. I think the bead is a little metal piece, and I think that knob is going to have to come off. I don't see the knob. I don't see the knob in the drawing. I see this part, which is going to go into there. And this bag of stuff. Right. So this has nothing to do with anything. All that's left in here is the clay that you're supposed to use when you get to the balancing part. And at one time I thought I saw a metal piece already bent for the hook. Propeller bead, nose bearing, and propeller shaft. So that's what I'm looking for now. The propeller shaft. A knitting needle. That's nice. Yeah, for weight concerns, I am not using, here it is. For weight concerns, I am not going to use the rigging, the line. Alright. Why do I have buttons in here? How did I have them? And an old earbud. Why? Some sort of latch to a jewelry box. Okay. So, oh, I still haven't found the smallest piece. Propeller, check. bead. I think that's what I'm missing. Nose bearing and propeller shaft. So I'm missing the bead, which I'm probably going to be very, 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 very lucky if I find that now after all this time. But I must say, I've never had this box of stuff tip over and have stuff flying out. I wonder, but I think this might be stuff for the U control, where you fly it in a circle and you can make it rise and fall. But we'll pull that out. I think what I'm actually looking for is like a small brass ring. Buttons, earbuds. Scrap stuff that I should have thrown out. I am not seeing what I want to be seeing. I really like to know what I was thinking when I put all these buttons in here. Here's the extra dowel. See, this is the dowel rod, right? And I wasn't supposed to. This is the extra one where I cut off the piece of it. So the thing is, you're supposed to have this so you can pull it in and out in case you need to replace the rubber motor or install it for the first time. But I didn't read the instructions and I glued that in. So if the rubber motor ever breaks, I'm going to have to come up with some other way of putting in a new rubber motor. Alright, yeah, I do not have what I think I am missing. And I'm really not sure this piece is what I need. Pretty sure. I mean, it poked through there, but I'm pretty sure That has to come off. I don't think is there a front and back? Does it matter? Yeah, I think it matters. I think I had it right the first time. All right, well, let's think this out. So I picked up this really neat tool when I was getting all the goop stuff. This is an automatic winder. So it twists the propeller interesting. Did I maybe get something I can't use? Alright, anyhow, so it twists it this way, right? So when you release it, the propeller goes this way. And I do feel a breeze on my hands. But I wonder if part of my problem is that's not bent. Is that why I can't? Okay. So what I'm going to do, I am going to cut this knob off. Probably going to end up cutting that knob off to spite my face. Alright. And it's trash. And I am going to cut this ring off. Sure I am. File off that little knob. It's going to take forever. All right. So this, and this, and this. And then we bend this. They don't give much instruction on how far over that should be. But can I now get this on? Done. Alright, so let's cut this. I'm still going to leave the toothpick on the one end. Right. Tie one end of the rubber motor to a 12-inch of light string and lower rubber motor into fuselage through hole on nose cowl until it lines up with the rear motor mount hole at part L. Insert dowel or matchstick through part L and loop the rubber motor, pull out front of the loop. Attach to prop hook. It still doesn't tell me how much rubber motor I need. And I think I am going to use the new one and not the old one, just to play it safe. Alright, if I get it untangled, and I just hit the camera again. Alright. What time is it? Hi Roy, how you doing? Good morning. Alright, 2:54. I think I will continue down this line. Over, under, over. And let's go. Oh, Scheissnheimer. It untied. Did it? No, it didn't. So why is it acting like... like it didn't. Hooray! Pretty good. How long have you been watching me struggle here? I am not going to untie it. I am going to cut it. There we go. Now the question is, we don't want a whole bunch sticking out. But then we don't want it so short that we can't get it hooked up. And we don't run it so short that our stubby fat fingers can't tie the knot. Started watching Slip the Prop On. I started watching as you slip the prop on. Okay. So not too long ago. Time for another drink. How is the sound? Is it crackly? I think I figured out that problem. I think I have an external hard drive that's still mechanical starting to crap out. Scissors, scissors, scissors. What did I do with my scissors? Well, there's always the scissors on the pocket knife. Okay. Let's put this back in its bag with the rubber band lubricant in it. And let's tie this over under over. Come on. Shit. Oh no. Oh. Damn it. Mother fuck. Oh, son of a shist. Nope, no crackles. There is a background hiss, but that would be normal. Do you think the HD would cause electric in your mic? Yeah, oh no, is right. I am paying the price for not following the instructions. So, that's glued in really well. Man, I was so close. I was so close. Oh, and a hubcap just came off. Huh. second time I've had to go the hubcap back on. First things first, let's get this rubber motor thing taken care of. Oh, this is gonna be there's the other end. It didn't go deep into the fuselage. It stayed really close. Stayed in the engine here. No. There is, okay, there's the cowl, and then inside is a rib, and the rubber motor has landed itself on the edge. So I have like a 16-inch possibility of being able to grab it. And it just fell in. And it just fell in. Alright, we're gonna have to operate. Ooh. So close. Where is it? Oh, there it is. It's on the... Come on. The angry Bob Ross is going to show up soon. Roy, I hope you're prepared. What the hell? No, 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 no. You're not doing that again. Son of a motherfucker. Under, over, under, over, and tighten. Yeah, it probably doesn't have to be a square knot. Granny should be enough. Alright. Okay. Now for the other end. Can you tape it at the hole and then knot it? What I'm going to try to do is tie the string on the end under, over, and tighten. All right, then, let's tie it here loosely, and I don't think my plan worked. So kids, remember, I wouldn't be having this headache if I had read the instructions before I started. Let that be a lesson to you. Read the instructions before you get started. Okay, that looks like an under over. So we need over under. And let's put the third knot in it. 3 is a charm, right? All right, propeller. Oh, I almost lost it. Question is, thank you. I thought so too. Less interference. But do I want to put the hook on the knot, or do I want to roll this around so the knot is in the back? And I have no idea of knowing when the knot's in the back. I think that's it. Propeller hook. But what's to say that that's not going to slip out? Alright, so let's close up the hook. Why ain't this doing what it's supposed to do? We have ways of making you talk. Okay. It works. Alright, so now let's see if I can get my new toy to work. That is clunky. And it counts out the revolutions. if I hand start it until it's taut, and then I put this on it, still clunky, isn't it? And I imagine the winder probably needs a charge. That really doesn't seem like it has much force to actually make it fly. But it works. And I think I will call this a day. Next week we get to fix or try to fix everything we broke because I didn't read the instructions when I started this. Alright, coloring this done. Let's head back to the desk. Have another sip. Somewhere down the line there were 10 viewers in here. 2 of them were me and my one sock puppet, and then Roy. So whoever the other 7 were, I hope they enjoyed it. Looks like Roy just cut out. So anyhow, let's switch scenes. There we are. And thank you for making it this far into the video or the stream. If you are watching this in the future, thank you for making it this far into the video. Everybody, please like, subscribe, do all the other YouTube typical happy horse stuff. And yeah. Oh, you're still here. Okay. Because it dropped down to yeah, 50% on the face on the left when I pull into the pull back to the desk. Yeah, there we go. 50%. Yeah, that's pretty close. All right, enough playing around. Thank you everybody for showing up, and have a nice day. Be safe, be a friend to someone who needs a friend, and the last thing I have to say is,
look, an echo chamber of derp. Derp, 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 derp.
Derp, 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 derp.
Derp, 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 derp. Derp, 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 derp.
Perspective. Gravity is not a force. Einstein based Newton.
Derp, 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 derp. Jerp, 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 jerp.